What's up, YouTube fam? It's Dark Angel's Journey. I'm Kira. All right, so I just made a vid about my journaling and my thoughts on my progression and all that good stuff. Hope you guys enjoyed. We're gonna dip back into back testing my models and even more importantly, I'm gonna take a quick look. I haven't looked at crypto in a second, so I'm gonna take a look at crypto and then I'm gonna utilize the FX market sessions to look at very specific setups for the S&P. That sounds like a good time. Drop a like, drop a comment, and let's get it tiny. Okay, so just for funsies, let's take a quick gander at Bitcoin. I haven't looked at it in a minute. And I'm gonna drop out to the monthly. How we doing? How are we doing on the monthly here? So, oh, all right. So we've dug nicely into this fair value gap, and looks like might be trying to aim for the one that's all the way up here. So let me make a note of that. Daily fair value gap up there for funsies. And right now they're at an old low. So let me just note that. Let's just do that. They got stopped at an old low on the daily. Cool, cool. Huh. This is starting to feel like an inside type of day. They broke out of this range though. Good for them. Dug a little bit into this fair value gap down here and took out the consequent encroachment that I had noticed. Let's clear that out. Let's clean that out. Okay, and might be turning this into support. The fair value gap right here. It's the 4 hour. So relatively ugh. So let's see. Got a nice run up. And we hit the old low and we've been rejected. On the buy side here, they rejected it and they haven't been able to take it out. So honestly, I would have been looking for shorts from this scenario. Let's see, would I have gotten something? So we came up, we took this out, buy side, beautiful. We leave with anything juicy. Came up, fair value gap right here. What kind of a stop loss would that have looked like? Because the fair value gap's here and there, then stop would have been up here. All right, above this guy. What's the midpoint of this candle anyway? Let's see. The bodies, basically. And then the midpoint of that. If I'd set my stop to there, would I have been stopped out? No, close. And then if we've been aiming for down here, there's a potential. Let's see. I don't know, hindsight and all that jazz. Let's use this. That. That. It's a little too choppy. Has a has something to play with. There's this guy trying to let's use that one. This would have been more juicy as an option right there. What I'd be looking for is two of these scenarios that overlap, you know? So like let's say the top of this and all of that. So these two came pretty close. I take the lower one, and then we would have gotten a nice return on that. What's that? That would have been a 4 point almost 5, 4.52, 4.5, return on that. Not bad. It's currently enjoying a bit of a it's like sideways motion. So not gonna mess with it too much. Anyway, so let's do with our back testing. Let's do that. Right now we're on the NASDAQ. All right, so let's switch out to our ESM 2023. Whoops. Okay, switch that puppy out and let's clean up. Right. So the market sessions that I'm using right now, I really like it, right? So it gives me a chance to see where we are in time. And then that way I can just focus on those areas for back testing. And also for this guy, I will be, as of today, starting manually writing down my findings and returns from each of these back tests. So today is 4/9. So 4/9, 2023, back testing. Okay. And from there, I'll be writing so I want to, for this round of back testing, I'm going to see if I'm finding this thing doesn't let me get away with more than 2 hours between where I want to go. So see if it'll show 9 to 10. Yes. Good. Perfect. So now we're going to go to the daily and let's see what we had. All right. So we've pressed it up, taken this out. Beautiful. Um, so my personal expectation is that they're going to come up and take this out. 42.24. If they can get past this fair value gap right here, which they seem to be stuck at. So in terms of a time, let's see about trading. And I want to work on my long game. Let's see about trading Friday, and then we'll start to work our way backwards. So let's do the 4 hour, and this is the afternoon. And this is that's Wednesday. Sorry, Thursday, Friday. Oh, not Friday. Sorry, Thursday. So let's hit the replay button and let's go back to Thursday. Let's do that. And let's go to the 1 hour. What time is it? 5 a.m. Okay, and this is Wednesday. Okay, perfect. And let's go forward 1 hour until the box starts to 15 minutes. Where are we? 8:45 and 9 o'clock. All right, good. So let's start here. All right, so on Thursday, we've been on a bit of a downtrend. So let's go to the 1 hour and let's note the P arrays that we're working with, right? So um, let's see. Oh, and another thing to note, we need to see the week's Monday's gap opening, if there is one. So third, there we are. Beautiful. Just to note where it is. So we're aware. So there's the big old gap right here, just for the funsies. Oh, sorry, that's Thursday. Where's that Thursdays always seem to have some weird gap attached to them? Have you noticed that? I don't know. It's weird. Friday, 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 Friday. Sorry, it's further up. Friday, 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 Monday. We don't go to the 5 minute. Maybe we can see it there. It's gonna note the new week opening gap for the Friday through the Sunday, just so we're aware of it, because it's great for targeting and all that jazz. And there's the other gap that I was talking about. So that's Friday 410. That's Monday. So that's going to be the, it's not really much of a gap there, but we opened here. Sorry, we closed here on Friday and we opened, let's see, we opened all the way down here. Sorry, I'm doing it wrong. So this is like the tiny, tiny, I'm not even going to bother note that that's not a good jet. Let's do the new week opening gap instead. My bad. Sorry about that, guys. Let's back up to the third. It's best to have that stuff delineated. Friday, Sunday. Beautiful. Here we go. So we closed here on Friday and we technically opened here. So that's the new week opening gap. You see how they've been respecting it for quite a bit of the week. Let's bring it all the way through. Using it as support, et cetera. Here we go. Beautiful. So I'm going to, that's new day. Where's my new week? And I should probably note this as, that's the whole thing. So let me just set it as blue, since that's what I usually use them for, and just make it a little lighter. There we go. All right, cool. So now we have like a gap to play with. It is 9 something in the morning. Let's drop to a 5 minute. We are at the 5 minutes. And let's see. So this is, oh no, this is Friday. I wanted Thursday. There's nothing on Friday. Did my replay not work? Sorry, guys. It's supposed to be over here. Let's drop this over here. So this is 9:10. Okay. The one things I'm going to note, right? So we had some relatively equal lows here. I'm going to note this as sell side. I know we're coming up on it. Sell side. We also have all of this down here as well. So I'm just going to note both of them as sell side liquidity. And then in terms of buy side liquidity, this guy up here is obviously, it's just an obvious choice, buy side. These equal highs up here are bigger, a bigger take. So I'm just going to note those two. All right, cool. And of course, we have this guy to dive back into. I'm going to note that. Cool. So let's all right, so let's see what happens. So just to be clear, we've been in a bit of a downtrend. We made ourselves a nice low on Wednesday. We have not taken out. We've had a shift on Wednesday, a shift. It technically happened right here. It didn't leave anything juicy. Instead, it came back to play inside of this fair value gap. Actually, no, that's not true. I'm wrong. This one, sorry, made itself, known, and then it took off a little bit. But then we had a proper shift up here, and that left a fair value gap, but we didn't really go very far, and then we continued dropping. So, but we haven't taken these lows out. So I don't know if I have much of a bias at this point based off of that. If I had taken this out, then we would just continue on down to this guy, but we haven't. We've risen away from it, and that would make me want to feel somewhat bullish. Now they came back to this order block, this set of order blocks here, and then they rose and then took out this buy side like that. Now zoom in, right? So we have a really juicy shift. So we have a low right here, lower low, traded through. Now I'm thinking, sorry, low, lower, low, traded through. So breaker right here. And did it also give us a fair value gap? The top of the breaker, at the very top of it, it does give us something. Man, that would have been a nice trade. What time did that? This was in London session. They came right back down into it, tapped it, and then took off. So just for funsies, what does that even look like? Let's see. Where to take this base, that top there, and we already know that that guy is there, so I want something above it. This guy. So that's too close. So then that one would have been perfect, and voila, not bad. A good run. Actually, let's see how much of a run. If we're gonna take the top of this breaker right at the top right there. Beautiful. Could we have had an 8 tick stop loss? Pretty sure we could have comfortably. Beautiful. And then with this buy side here, it's 45 ticks. That's too close. That one's not bad. 51 tick run. Not bad. I dig it. All right. So let's see what we can find between specifically the 10 to 11 time frame. So right now it's 9:10. So let's keep moving price forward. It's dropping around the 5 minute time frame. So, okay. And while we're doing that, let's also note what's going on. It's the Dow. Let's also add the NASDAQ in here as well. New pane. And this one's been acting weird whenever I add it. I don't know if it's having a similar issue with this thing. Let's hit auto. Okay, let's maximize the NASDAQ here. I don't know why it keeps doing that. It's like it just decides to not want to show up in the background. Maybe it's like the time that we're working within. I don't know. That's annoying. We want to be able to use it, but I guess let's delete that for now. Okay. So the Dow and S&P are behaving in lockstep for the moment. Can I maximize this? Beautiful. Okay, let's do that. And ooh, I just learned to do this. Isn't that crazy? Instead of just this, you know? All right, so let's see. So taking that, the Dow's already taken these lows right here, and the NASDAQ just went and tapped it. So let's continue. Now, again, we've gotten a long shift downward, and then we have a shift here, thinking straightly, properly. We have a shift here, it's taken out. So we have a low, lower low shift. And then we came back down into these order blocks. I mean, well, this order block right here, for sure. And I'm thinking about the breaker. Is this it? It's not clear, so I'm not going to do anything with that one. So now we have a very strong breakthrough, both of these. Nice. And I'm going to drop down into like, say, what time is it? It's 9. So I'm going to drop down into like, actually, so we've just taken, are these the lows for the week? That's Tuesday. Yeah, so we've just taken out the low of the week right here. What else is down here? So let's note, besides this, there is this tiny fair value gap. Whoops, did I not get it? Okay. This tiny fair value gap right there. Let's see what it's doing. Oops. Okay. So tap that. So I'm gonna wait. So now we have a nice shift. We have buy side taken, these equals taken out. It chose not to take those out. So we might be continuing down with the higher trend, right? So we have a higher high drop. So we have a breaker right here. So let's drop down into the, let's say, 1 minute time frame here. And it's possible, we'll see what we're doing. On the 50 minute, it looks a lot clearer, right? On the 5 minute, um, we've had quite a shift on the 5 minute. And that's taken. We've got share value gap right here for them to come back into, relatively equal highs here for them to take, and this guy right here. So if I were to, if I was a betting woman, I'm not a betting woman. So we have this breaker right here. So we have this higher high we've traded through. So my mind, I'm in the 3 minute right here. So we have this base right here for an entry, this fair value gap right here, and the only other fair value gaps all the way up here. So I'm gonna wait. Okay, got a full screen so I can drop a tool. So my thoughts are this. So for a short position, I'm gonna wait for it to come back and hit the base of this. Right. See if I can keep my 8 tick stop loss. There we go. Let's see. And what am I aiming for? Maybe the rest of this guy, maybe this guy down here. Let's see. So we've already taken that. But they could also choose to do, go in opposite direction. But, it feels like we're going down. So let's see if we can get up here and come down. And let's do a little aiming. So we kind of pause right here. And they've already taken out these sell sides, right? That's the other thing. I'm gonna just note the new wick opening gaps, right? So what is this? Yeah, let's come back in here. So let's note the new week opening gaps. Let's go to the 15 minute and on. So I want to note the new week opening gaps that are close to 40.99 based off of where we're trading right now. So 40.98. So okay. So 40.89.25, 48.675. All right. So 40.89.25, 40.86. So down here is a little tiny new week opening gap. So in my mind, I want them to come in here and deal with that at the very minimum. I don't know if I'm going to get that, but something to that effect, right? Maybe they'll come consequent encroachment of this thing, 48.5, but it's about halfway approximately. And let's see. So that's a 3 minute. What does a 2 minute look like? So we have this guy right there. Nothing exciting above it in the 1 minute. So let's see if we get something forming between like the 10:30 and 11 o'clock time frame. So let's see. I'm coming back up. Coming back up. And these things tend to, act as areas of resistance. So maybe I've missed my move. Who knows? This could just be a retracement. Okay. So that's pretty much where I want. So I'm going to sell from here. Let's see what happens. Okay. Ooh. Now, there's an order block here. I think there's a breaker block right here. I have an 8 tick stop loss because I want it to be above this guy. And we seem to be meandering about. I don't know that I don't think this is going to work. And we just check that out. So let's zoom in on this a little bit more. Yeah. This is one of those scenarios where you need to see what else is in here. So there's a bit of a volume imbalance right here. Let's see if that can hold it down. And definitely cannot. So I would have been stopped out for $100 there. So I'm just going to go ahead and flatten and just note that. Let's put a note in here. So this would have been 4.6. Uh, so that test date. So 4/6/23. What time? Mhm. Uh, Entry at 10:06. Might be too soon. Um, let's say considerations. Bearish. Did I misconstrue where the breaker was? I'm still working on that. Let's see. Oh, yeah, I did. Look. Um, so we need a high. It's like the highest green candle, isn't it? Something like that. High, higher high. Put it through. Oh, man, I am really messing up with the breaker, aren't I? This came back into an order block. Sometimes it's really hard to see on the 1 minute. Yeah, it can't be so zoomed in. Um, just continue. So my perception of consideration. So I thought we had a bearish breaker, FVG, downward trend. It's not going to always work, right? So, and if I'd, if I'd set a limit order, which is what I was thinking. So let's say I did a limit order, 8 tick stop, and stopped out. So let's analyze why. So if I'd set a 5 minute, so the highest high, higher high, da da da, then my entry would have been here. My entry would have been here instead, but then I didn't take this into account, which means the entry should have been here. Let's see, would that have worked? Let's say I'm wrong and I did that and I sell here now instead. Because it might just be where I enter that the problem. That is the problem. And what am I aiming for, right? So this guy down here looks good. We've seen them, they've taken out sell side here and here. So there's no guarantee that they're going to want to do that. So maybe all the way down to here, maybe 250 is all I get out of it. Yeah. So this is not looking, it's looking like a bit of a continuation. What time is it? 10:30, right? Now my question becomes, right, does this hold it down? I have to wait, right? So what is this? Red, where this, oh, that's my entry order. I may need to set it as a different color because it really is sort of messing about with me. So let's say for now, we're continuing down. They want to take this out and something down here. Let's see. Okay. All right. So that's what happened. I let me just make a note. Review breaker at 5 minutes. Missed FVG above. All right. Now, I did mention that I was more interested in them tapping into this guy. So, honestly, like I would take like my 250 as a stop loss. Like it's just taken out. He hasn't left anything yet. Probably would have moved my stop loss into the 250 profit and be happy and been happy with that. This behavior here doesn't make me feel happy. So uh, we did have a shift and it's using this as support. So I might be okay. I've dropped down to like a 3 minute. Okay. Um, this guy right here, it might be going up now because, um, well, we took out these two lows, so maybe we'll continue down lower. I needed to take this out. Fair value gap down there for them to dig into if they really want to. Oof. So I'm concerned they're not going to take that. So I probably should have flattened and and handled my business. This feels like it's going to continue on up. What time is it? 11. Okay. So we had a shift and came back into this order block. So at this point, 3 minutes, I'm going to flatten and just even out life and see what happens, right? Because this was right. I got down into this space on the 5 minute and I should have dropped down lower to see properly what's happening. Now, the other thing that's happening here is we have a sell side taken here, swing failure, shift, and there's a fair value gap right here, but we don't seem to want to go any lower. So let me consider the other opportunities because they took two things out here. So I'm going to take this off. So I'm confusing myself, and they took this out with one. And then they had a shift here, fair value gap that came into it, not once, not twice, but three times. And they chose not to take this out. So a long might be in order to take out this guy up here. So all we've done so far is mitigate our losses. And let's back up and see what we're looking at time what on the higher time frame. And let's also take a look at what's happening on the Dow. So they've taken that out. Let's see. So they're in lockstep. All right, perfect. So I just want to see what we're doing. Okay. So I want to see where it's stuck and why. And curious about the, whoops, not what I wanted. Sorry about that. Curious about the consequent encroachment of this particular, wait, they took that out. It stopped right at the midpoint. How fascinating. And we have a very tiny fair value gap up top here and another one up here. And we took out the sell side here. So I still feel a short is in order. All right, let's see what we get. And we are about that 10:55, 11 o'clock time frame. What I don't like is that they made a higher low here. So they probably might take this out. Let's jump into a 3 minute. Yeah. So thought perhaps they might want to come down into this guy. Doesn't look like they do. So let's watch, see what they're doing. And I could be entirely wrong. I could have should have kept my short. Now the other thing is, I gotta keep the downtrend. We took it out here, and so we'll just be coming back up into this order block. Fair value gap right here. Swing failure above it. So would this be enough to give me, let's set of order blocks. Let's see if I want to, maybe I can get like the tip. Can I get eight tick stop loss? Would be right above it. My preference would be to get above the order block, perhaps. So maybe I'll try and get like here, so just above the order block. Maybe I'll get like give it one more tick, 9 ticks, and then come back down to maybe there. And let's see. We've been dropping. We did have a nice shift. Still choppy though. I don't like it. See, coming up. I want to see like one or two rejections, and I'm not seeing that, so I'm not pressing the button. So we're outside of the times that I want to trade inside of. And what I've done is taken the buy side here. So I think this invalidates my shorts. If this becomes support, then we can take a long and write it up this way, I think. Because I think this is what it did, shift, and they came down into, they didn't tap into the fair value gap down here, which is kind of uncool. So let's go to the 1 minute to see what that's looking like. Okay, took that out. Hanging out in here. The next thing's all the way down here. Fair value gap. If they did want to try to come back down, they did have a nice shift here. Fair value gap. Rejections down here. I don't know. Let's see if I were to try and get a long from, like, say, the midpoint. Use this order block right here. Let's. Yeah, let's use this. On top of that order block, can I get 8 ticks of a stop loss? It's below it. And then let's say we're trying to get above at the bare minimum this buy side. We have this wick to contend with. So where's consequent punishment of this thing? And use play. So let's say we do this. We're really trying to get all the way up here, but you know, just for the funsies. Now we're outside of where I want to trade, but I've also noticed that things like the setups form around that space. Let's see how it behaves here. Well, that's looking pretty promising for a long entry. So let's say I do that, and I'm gonna let it play out. Let me take this off because I don't like the way that looks. So we've taken this up. If we don't take that out, then I'm wrong. Okay. It's really hard. Still coiling upwards. Just took that guy out. Barely. Can we barely get two? Can we get 5 handles at minimum? Like this thing needs to hold this up. If it cannot, then it's one of those you gotta just. I mean, this is some high resistance BS right here. What's the timing here? And let's see what the Dow is doing at the same time. Okay, so the Dow, oh, it hasn't taken these out. I can't see the Nasdaq. I want to see the Nasdaq. We'll try one more time to add it back in. Like, why does it start off like that? It's so annoying. Let's do some candles. So this doesn't look, I don't like this. This isn't promising. It's one of those trades where it's fighting too hard to get above this. So I'm gonna flatten it and just take my 112 and be okay. But it's not a good it's not a good area for me. It's just had an order block that it seems to be getting rejected off of. We haven't closed anything. Let's see. Oh goodness, we haven't closed anything. Let's see here. Oh, we just closed it, so it might be okay. I don't know. Let's go back to the 1 minute. Okay, so this guy is no longer a contender. So I might wait until the afternoon and see if we get something. Because the way it's just chopping around, it doesn't give me a lot of hope. And now we have these equal lows here. Might get another opportunity, or I might just be not holding on long enough. Just note this area here. So I should have held on. Wasn't going any lower, it was still climbing. Let's do consequent encroachment, see how it behaves around that. Man, I'm hot. So we did get a setup, but it's not very clear. It's probably like clearer. It's probably clearer in this tiny liquidity void here that can be seen on the 3 minute. Can't see it on the so you have to cycle through them. You can't see it. And then I would have taken the long from here if I'd seen it. This one's already been, well, I guess it's all been pretty well sorted out, but look at how they decided to. So this is what happens inside of the time that I'm looking for, and then I would have been, you know, in a good place from this entry instead of meandering about looking for this to get taken out with like that as a target. Okay. That's so we saw this on the 4 minute. We saw it in the 3 minute, but we couldn't. Did we see it on the 3 minute? No. So didn't see it on 5 minutes. 4 minute when you like zoom in and on it. You can see the small void. Zoom in. It's the problem with missing these things, you know. Then I could have taken an entry from the void and had an 8 tick stop loss, and that would have been perfect with, you know, them taking this out as a potential target, right? So I use something else as a, use that. And I need to like look at things in a whole. They did take this out, so there's nothing stopping them from going back up now. See how they behave on there. Let's see. Let me zoom in as I want to see if it was visible on the 3 minute. No, because this guy was in there. 2 minute. No, all those in there. And then the 1 minute, yes, was visible between these two candles. These two candles. Would have had two opportunities for it. Sometimes I get mildly confused whenever there's a shift and it comes back, and then you gotta be ready This is a significant shift, not just a tiny one. It's like a significant shift. Stop, giving you the long opportunity. Anyway, so this would have been a good trade. And um, use this top right there. Go up in there. We would have gotten everything there or there, or just aim higher. Let's continue. This didn't feel right. This didn't feel good at all. But I should have noted this wick. They hit the consequent part of that thing. And look at that. We would have gotten that. We would have gotten this easily enough. Move stop loss up. And needing to be able to understand where these, what's that, 4, 25. So that's where we're really headed. That would have been 68 ticks right there. 4125. That's 112 ticks. Like that's the coup de grace for the morning, right? And just for funsies, let's back up a bit. Yeah, I'm cheating. I'm gonna cheat right here. I'm gonna cheat a little bit and just and hit buy. And because I want to see like what that actually looks like. So see, this is a low liquidity run. You got um, 5 handles easy, and this guy was acting as resistance. We'll just stop loss under here probably. Let's see how that would have worked. Probably not even that. I'd probably just move it to break even right there. But it's a little early to move it, But I'm assuming first take profits just above here. So let's say I did that. And we're doing this. And once I see them respecting this wick, I might just be like, well, let's move the stop loss to just under here and see how they behave. It's like we're fighting tooth and nail for this little bit of money. So we know consequent encroachment, it's a nice 662 right there. Not a bad place to take some profits. See if they're going to take out this whole wick. We said we're going to go up a little higher. So let's see. We held it and just kept moving the stop up, just kept moving the stop up because right now, move the stop up to here. Nice. So now at this point, I'm just managing the trade because I want it to go all the way up this way. It can absolutely decide it wants to come back down equal lows right here. I'm gonna do this, and see. I want to store because I want this to turn into support. And there's a fair value gap in here that I want to behave as support, and it looks like it's gonna do what it wants. So let it continue doing its thing. Need this taken out. If it's not taking it out, I would just flatten it up and take my money. 875. Not even. Just move the stop. Move the stop. Move it right there. Ah, beautiful. Nice burst into this sell side, this buy side right here. Lovely, lovely. We're close. We're close to our take profit. I'm at this point just locking everything in. I'm just gonna move that up. See if we can't get it. Sometimes this acts as this fair value gap. I want to see it act as support. Or and let's see how this is behaving right here. Because I don't want to this tiny void right here. Let's see. So this guy, I want to see act as resistance. I don't want to see them come back into it, but they could technically because there is an order block right here. Yeah. But if they don't close a candle you know, below the consequent encroachment of this thing, which is around here. So we're good. Looking good. Still looking good. Okay, good. Now I need them to take this out. If they can't, I'm just going to move this up here and just, let it ride. I don't even know where we're at. 1,075, that's not bad. Vic decides to not take out these wicks, and I'm going to close it. We're so close, we're so close. Come on. You know you want to. Yeah, they're going to take it out. Equals, they can't stop themselves. I might have trailed my stop too far, but I'm not going to. And honestly, as it's turning around, I want to see what they do right here. Actually, I wanna safeguard my monies and flatten right there because I would have been stopped out there, and I'd rather take all of the money. So not bad. So that formed. Oh, where'd my market session thingy go? Did it get deleted? Might have. Okay, so that formed. Let me add that back because I deleted all of my things, all of them. Right. So the entry formed inside of the window, and this rolled into the 1220 area. I would have wanted to manage my stop. That's a good, run for the morning. I'm okay with that. So now let's let it roll into the next. Oh, look at that, beautifully taken, right? Let me see. Let's go back to the 1 minute. I think I just, moved my stop too close. Technically, the stop should have been below the fair value gap. But anyway, so beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Dived into this thing, lovely. Uh, let's see what happens at. Another thing I need to work out is just trusting the trade. We're so close. Don't close it. So now we've got to see what happens between here. 145, like 3 to 4. I think the better choice for me is probably like 230 to 4. Let's see what things look like inside of there. So let's let that play. So now we're at wait for the box to form. I got to learn to be patient. Oops. Here we are. Okay. So what have we done? Just get that out of the way. Get that out of the way. Repeat it a little bit, but that's okay. All right, let's see. What do we have to look forward to? Something I missed. On the 60 minute, we had this relatively equal highs for buy side for them to take right there. And there isn't a real fair value gap or anything in here. So there's nothing really for them to come up into, sort of taking out these highs or like diving into this older fair value gap here. But for now, they're inside of the gap for the week. And let's drop into the 5 minute, let's say 3 minutes, and see if we get something for the afternoon. What time is it? 2:39. Let's go to 1 minute. Okay, so all right, so we're on an upward trend. We're in an upward tear, and we're just below this guy. So could we get, say, I don't know, 5 handles from this fair value gap down here? Let's see. Could we get 20 handles? Yeah, probably get 20 handles up above this thing. Let's see if we can get a little short-term thing. It just dropped down into this guy. And let me just note this little liquidity void right there. I'd like to see them give me one more reason to reject it, but this is ugly. Like I don't like it at all. Makes me want to dip back out into like, yeah, none of this is good. None of this is easy trading right here. This is the type of thing that makes me feel like I don't want to trade for the day. Let's see, can we get a clearer view on the 5 minute? A bit of a shift. Um, uh, order block. There, I might come back down. Let's see. Anything else juicy besides this guy? Got another void down here. This order block here. Let's see. Let's wait. Gotta see what it do. It could have been right. I don't know. I'm finding I don't like doing the limit orders because then I could be wrong like now, right? But look at how they behave inside of this thing. Nice rejection of it. It's looking very promising. Very promising. I tend to do that, right? Like I see what I'm looking for and I don't press the button. So let's make a note, right? First of all, I forgot to make a note about the entry forming at around 10:45 down here. I need to feed Kitty. Let's make a note of that. So the entry actually formed around 10:40. The entry formed about 10:40. Technically, they came back in after this shift. They made a bigger shift. So uh, AM session provided a major shift, major MSS plus volume imbalance plus um, uh, bullish order block for a nice long entry. Now, how long did it take for that to entirely to play out? Because it's in here. So let's just drop a thing on here. So let's say we got it here. We're coming in here. So 2 hours and 1 minute. Took 2 hours to complete. So high resistance. It's a high resistance environment. Okay. So looking at this, mm, it is sideways movement, isn't it? And I don't know if there's a new week opening gap here, but it's climbing the rest of this week's opening gap. So it's too choppy for me to feel comfortable with it. So not pressing the button. Yeah. No. This is how you get chopped up. I don't like it. Something clear about it. So we've hit 252. Okay, maybe we're gonna get a nice short potential. There's a shift. So we have buy side taken, swing failure, shift. So now my consideration for a short instead. So let's do this. I prefer so this and that taken, that is good. Equal lows down here. Let's see if they give us an opportunity to get in here for a short. It'll leave us a nice fair value gap to play with. Beautiful. Right here, right here. I want this to say remain open and this one to be the one that we get the entry from. Order blocks right here. This guy most likely. Let's see what that short looks like. Let's see if I were to take it from here. I'll do something inside of this. So think about this guy. So I wanna take a short from here where it's holding it up, you know? We can do this and have, but I need the stop loss to be above. So yeah, let's just do that order block. I need the stop loss to be above this guy. That way. Oh, 7. There you go. Ooh, perfect. And if I'm being honest, I would, we're going to take out these equal lows right here. So about where I'm at is a good place, 3.5. Fair value gap in here, not bad. Let's see if we get an opportunity to form for the 315 to 345 macro. Now, this behavior right here might tell me that they want to stay below this. So let's see. Whoa. Okay, so let's see how it behaves. And we can delete that guy. Want one more, like, good. Maybe I can get another one, or maybe I'm too late. Okay. All right, so seeing this, they're respecting it. I would have bought, once I see that, I would buy here, right? I mean, sell, sorry. Let's see. All right, so we're still coiling upwards. So maybe I'll get another opportunity to sell. Looks like it. Yeah. So I would have gotten an opportunity right there. Exactly what I was looking for. Beautiful. I'm not going to be able to press the button. It's moving too fast here, but lovely. Okay, I need to take this out. Okay. Okay. And we made 2. Nothing here. Lovely. Beautiful, beautiful. See, that's the thing that I need to work through, right? Like just because it comes up here, I can't just buy, right? I need to see it give me the confirmation that it's not going to go where I want, where I think it's going to go, right? Okay. Gotta feed the kitty. So I'm gonna end this one after this. But looking at this, we didn't get it. Come on. You got this. You got this. All right. So we stopped at this order block. We have nothing here. What's my this? Take that, assuming this that's the next one. Okay, so we would have gotten that. And it stopped at this fair value gap down here. So let's see if we can write it down to that. Because we're so close, then I would have moved or stop loss into profit at the minimum, right? It's nothing, 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 nothing. So they have no reason to come all the way back up here. So let's move it here. And just let it. Ooh, I don't like this behavior right here. Let's see what they do. But I would just take. This is what, a 28. So where's 25? So if that's 28. Sorry, where's 20? 20 is there. So can we get 28 ticks? Come on. Or would I get stopped out? Yeah, I would have gotten stopped out there with a few ticks, and yeah, I've been stopped out with a few ticks, but I would have gotten a 20 tick run at minimum, but a little less than that actually, because where I would have been stopped out would have been 11 ticks. It's not bad. All right, so let me make a few notes on, let's see what this does on the afternoon. Okay, so PM session. What have what have we seen? All right, let's see what this does, right? We're on a downtrend. Let's check the Dow. Need to Nasdaq is still not giving me anything. Oh, there's a market sessions down here. Why is it down here? Okay, Nasdaq, you're behaving weirdly. So let's check the Dow. Okay, so the Dow, those had already been taken here. Nice. And unless it takes this out and this out, play this out, then we should be all right. All right, let's see. Is it just giving us another opportunity for a short or gathering up? For a long, I think we're still shorting. And take out some fair value gap up here. Prep for a short. I think they're coming to take out some highs. If they can't take out, they can't take out this, the consequent encroachment of this wick right here. There's so many wicks too, it's a little hard. Let's see the behavior. So we've taken this out. We tap further into it. We're going to get a proper dropout. There it is. So second opportunity. See that coming back up? Nope. Okay. Hmm. Sorry. Still think it's a short. I really had a shift, have we? What time is it? 3:50 to 4. Once it hits 4 o'clock, I'm done. Oh, where's my market session? It's hiding again. Equal lows right down here. Are we coming in for a swing failure again? Let's see. It's taking all of this out. Okay. No bodies have been closed outside of this gap. They've basically just come into this fair value gap right here. So if I were to sell right here, wrong place, stop loss above here. Let's see. Fight me. Come on. This guy seems to be holding it together. This is a bad idea because I got in here around 4 o'clock and I shouldn't be making any entries at this time. So now this is a matter of just holding it down and seeing if we're going to get something. Because with this entry, 8 tick is up there. I'm looking for like the rest of this. Let's just pop this forward. Because of the time of day, most of this is pointless. until like after 6 o'clock hits, right? And then I don't know which way the market's going to want to open. So honestly, I would just close it and then look at that. 6 o'clock, they're going to want to fill this gap in. I'm not trading at this time. So, I mean, this rate, I'm just curious to see what's going to happen. They're going to fill this up. Someone's going to flatten this because I should have done this up here when it was just meandering about. So, in terms of an actual entry, that formed at about 341 entry, right? So after it had this shift and then this shift, they came into this liquidity void. Didn't really go very far, for being honest, for a quick long. So if we'd said base of that, right, I would have wanted more, obviously. This guy, the entries here, you want to get over, these guys. That would have been right at it. Nope. Wouldn't have gotten a really good read. They're so close. Yeah, so close. I had to come over and find a different place to drop it. Let's try this guy. With this being that, so that would have been it. Just about 41.33, and the high of this candle is 41.33. And then, so that's one example of potential. What would this one? It needs to be lower. So let's try. Sorry, let's try this level. We can delete this. So it's right there, and we're looking for something above this high. This one had 40 to 41, 32.50. They're close enough that the 41.33 would have been good place. But a lot of that is in hindsight anyway. In any case, the PM session wasn't as clear. Most of this wasn't as clear. Long setup entry formed at around 1530 to 1542. It's really choppy, hard to trade. So I mean, take what you can get, right? Anyway, I think that's long enough for this session. I'm gonna do some more, but without actually filming it. So happy Sunday, happy Easter. Enjoy yourself. Drop a like, drop a comment, subscribe if you feel like it. Let me know your thoughts, on your setups and what you would have traded if you got screenshots of areas you would have traded on Thursday, the 6th. All right, let me know. Kira out.